Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online 23rd Century Starfleet campaign. In the last mission we were invited back to Deep Space Nine for a convention on the Borg, and this mission is called Second Wave. Let's see what that's all about. Okay, Commander Andrews wants to see us in Ops. Oh, there she is up here.
Welcome to DS9. I'm Commander Karen Andrews, Captain Carlin's first officer. He asked me to inform you that he's been delayed dealing with an incident in Cargo Bay 3.
Fortunately, yeah, Captain Carlin isn't available. So we'll have to track down the other attendees and inform them of the delay. Now she could send a junior officer, but of course she sends us, so that way we can meet the delegates before formal talks begin. So this is kind of a diplomatic mission, which is a nice break in pace. So let's talk to the Cardassian diplomat, Rugen Skyle.
I'm looking forward to the conference and what your government has to say about the Borg. While I agree the Borg are indeed a threat, I'm not entirely clear as to what you expect the Ditapa Council to do about it. If you will remember, we dismantled our military after the Dominion War and only maintain a small force for planetary defense. Those ships you may have seen were stolen from my government by the True Way. Regrettably, Starfleet has yet to put a stop to their campaign of terror.
We'll tell him Captain Curland has been unavoidably detained, and we will be delaying the start of the conference.
Being here on Deep Space Nine reminds me of my mentor, Gul Mavek, who was stationed here during the Dominion occupation. During his time here, he came across a peculiar drink, Bajoran distilled Kanar. Apparently, during the Cardassian occupation, the soldiers wanted their favorite libation, but there was not enough Kanar in the shipments from home. So these resourceful young officers conscripted a group of Bajorans, mostly from the religious houses, to distill Kanar for them. The Kanar from Bajor has a different color and flavor from the best Cardassian vintages because of the local ingredients used in its distillation. Nevertheless, many of the officers who drank it developed quite a taste for this Bajoran pleasure. It is impossible to find a similar vintage on Cardassia Prime, and I want to present a bottle to my mentor and friend, Gul Mavek, upon my return to the homeworld. It would mean so much to him, and I would be most grateful to anyone who could assist me in this small task.
We'll see if we can find any. Yes, he wants a bottle of Bajoran distilled Kanar. Now these are all optional quests, but they do help later on in the mission. Now, it's randomly generated who has the Kanar. Sometimes it's Pog here. He doesn't have any. Very well. Very rarely, this monk has it, Prylar.
May the prophets bless you.
He doesn't appear in his dialogue box. Do you know any Bajorans involved in distilling Kanar?
We await the word of the emissary.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't know where to find any, and he wouldn't want to let us know. Sorry if we offended him. And we shall enter Quark's bar.
Today must be your lucky day.
Let's ask Hadron if he has any.
Need something, friend?
Do you carry Bajoran distilled
A
Kanar?
wise man can hear prophet in the wind.
Nope, he doesn't have any. And there's Morn. We won't talk to Morn. He's quite a chatterbox. And I don't think he has much to say anyways. Yeah, see how chatty he is? What a tale that was. Anyway, there's another delegate here. Ambassador Syrah of the Deferi.
Greetings. My name is Syrah, and I speak for the Deferi. Until recently, my people isolated ourselves from the rest of the galaxy in an attempt to remain neutral. We seek balance in all things, and therefore choose not to take sides in conflicts that do not concern us. The Borg, however, threaten everyone. My own world has been scarred by the Collective. I look forward to hearing your thoughts about how we can deal with the Borg when the conference convenes.
Let's see if the ambassador has found any Bajoran distilled Kanar.
While I recently completed a diplomatic mission to Cardassia Prime, I must admit I never developed a taste for Kanar, and so didn't feel the need to take a bottle with me.
Okay, we'll look elsewhere.
Greetings. My name is Syrah, and I speak for the Deferi.
And we'll
I
tell
understand.
him that Kurland
I must
is
find
elsewhere.
something to do with my free time. I had been hoping to spend some time in one of the holosuites here. Several people have recommended them, and there is an historical holo program, the Matara Nebula, that I have been eager to play. Could you help me gain access to a holosuite? An hour or two would be more than sufficient.
Let me see what I can do.
Need something, friend?
So let's see if we can reserve a holosuite for the ambassador.
Opportunity plus instinct equals profit.
So maybe someone is
A
willing to
range
give up
without
their
profit is no
reservation.
Ferengi at all.
Okay, so let's see if this bar patron would be able to. Okay, apparently we Starfleet types aren't that much fun. Let's try this patron. She wasn't very friendly. Let's try this one. She seems to want to sell these self-sealing stem bolts. Maybe we can make a deal. Okay, and that starts a secondary mini-quest. Now, there's only one person on Deep Space Nine who actually needs those bolts. And they're down in the shipyard. That is, of course, Captain Valkel Shawn.
You kept your head in that tricky situation in the Iconia system. Good to have people like you on our side. And I'm glad there's someone else here who's faced the Borg in battle. We have a perspective the rest of these full-time diplomats don't.
Do you need a large quantity of self-sealing stem bolts?
How many do you have? My chief engineer has been looking for stem bolts for weeks. He wants to do some upgrades to the Belfast, and the Defiant class has always been a little touchy. Sometimes it's best to use what works, even if the technology's a little out of date. We've made inquiries with several traders, but everyone we talked to dumped their inventories after the speculation bubble burst. Some Ferengi out there made a small fortune a few months ago cornering the stem bolt market, but now that supply is gone. I was hoping to find some here, but so far I haven't had the chance. If you know of a source, my crew could make the upgrades we need without having to find an industrial replicator.
Okay, so Shawn is willing to help.
You kept your head in that tricky situation, and I'm glad there's someone else here.
And we can actually help him.
My crew could really use a few extra hands to get the work done. But if you need your officers to do something else, I understand. I'll talk to Commander Andrews to see if she has anyone who can help.
I wonder why we couldn't do that one, That might actually make things a bit tough.
You kept your head in that tricky, and I'm glad there's someone else. I appreciate the offer. My crew could really use a few extra hands.
Sorry, there's 3... Oh, here we go. I guess I just missed it for some reason. Yeah, there's 3 assignments that Captain Shawn gives you. If you help with all of them, they take 5 minutes to complete. If you complete all of them, then you get a bit of a bonus at the end. Now, we still haven't found that Kanar yet. There's one more merchant that does have the Kanar. However, I'm not sure where that merchant is. Oh, here we go. Okay, maybe not. Well, I guess we might not be able to help Rugen Skyle after all. Either way, we'll head to the multi-purpose room and talk to the Klingon ambassador. There's a Gorn.
I was informed you would be here. Have you come with another friendly reminder from Commander Andrews? Feel free to report back to her and let her know that I haven't eaten the furniture or scared away the Dabo players. Not yet, anyway. That is troubling. My ship is waiting to return to Kronos as soon as these talks are completed. I have no wish to linger here any longer than is necessary.
Sorry to trouble you again, but Captain Curlin is wrapping up the problem in the cargo bay, and we will be able to begin the talks very soon. I've notified the other attendees, but our opening speaker isn't responding to hails. Could you please track him down for me? Admiral Zavglach Trem mentioned wanting someplace quiet. You might try the upper promenade or the temple.
Now, as many times as I've played this, he's always been at the temple. However, we have that one mission to hand in with the Deferi, so we'll do that real quick.
Buy another drink. Maybe it'll bring you good luck.
So first we'll talk to Czar. Yes, a ship captain wants to acquire your entire stock.
Need something, friend? A wise man can hear opportunity plus instinct equals profit.
10,000 gold press latinum? Do I have that much? No, I have 15. That's outrageous.
The riskier the road, the greater the profit.
2,000? No.
A Ferengi without profit is no Ferengi at all.
100? I don't have that much.
Need something, friend?
Okay, there's a Dabo table. Yeah, we're gonna have to play some Dabo.
Spin the wheel and win.
Thanks for your help. My ship is running late.
Sorry
Spin the
for
wheel
cutting
and
Sean off, but we need some gold press latinum. The maximum amount of energy credits that you can bet is 100. And I think you can also bet gold press latinum, and it's the same amount as well. But we've got our 100 in that one spin, which is kinda lucky, so We will
Need something,
get
friend?
that reservation transfer fee done with.
A Ferengi without profit. It's no Ferengi at all.
Keep your eyes on the wheel.
Greetings. My name is Shrol, and Wonderful! Most of the holotechnology on Defera is used for training or utilitarian purposes, so I don't have many chances to use a holosuite for entertainment. Thank you for your assistance. I hope you didn't go through too much trouble on my account.
Now, we didn't get to complete Home Away from Homesick because I couldn't find that bottle of distilled Kanar. Which is unfortunate. And here's the Admiral.
My apologies, both to you and Commander Andrews. It's not often that I get some time to myself these days. Captain Kurland offered me the use of his office, but I came here instead for some peace and quiet. Peace. It's in far too short of supply these days. I've been in Starfleet for a long time. I've seen more battles than I care to remember. But this one, there's no reasoning with the Borg. There's no chance for a non-violent solution. I only hope that we can unite before they come for us. No one is safe.
And I'll just quickly accept these rewards. And we'll take the turbo lift to the conference room. And we'll take a seat.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so pleased that you all agreed to join us here today. As many of you are all too aware, the Borg attacks are increasing. If they are left unchecked, Starfleet predicts that the entire Alpha Quadrant could fall within 3 years. We all must work together to push these invaders out of our space and protect our homes and families.
I do not agree. My empire will stand, with or without your assistance. The Klingon Empire has never been stronger than it is right now. I dare the Borg to challenge us. Starfleet may cower in fear before a bunch of machines, but we do not.
I'm sure what the esteemed ambassador from the Klingon Empire meant to say is that he hopes we are all so crippled by our efforts to stop the Borg, we will be no match for a battle-hardened Klingon fleet. I do not want to be assimilated, but I don't want to be a servant to the Klingon Empire either.
The Deferi believe that all things must be in balance. We cannot counter the Borg threat if we ourselves are counter to one another. The Deferi do not wish to act against any of you. Therefore, should this meeting not reach a consensus, our best course of action is to not act at all.
Starfleet will do what it must to protect the Federation. However, if you want our assistance, you need to be willing to protect yourselves and contribute to this campaign. The Borg will be stronger if any of your civilizations are assimilated. Starfleet's hard at work developing new technology and tactics. We, at least, will be ready. And if we can't cooperate, I hope you don't suffer. And that we develop new weapons in time.
This is getting us nowhere. We came together in the spirit of cooperation. We need to find common ground. Now, did you have something you wanted to add to this discussion?
Ambassador Stas. The Klingon Empire would be foolish to ignore this fight.
Be careful. You are dangerously close to insulting the honor of the Klingon Empire.
Now, if we had higher diplomacy from the duty officer system, we could instantly win this conversation, essentially. However, we don't, so we have to kind of talk this out. And this is probably one of the most difficult if you are on the Federation side.
Do not presume to know what our honor demands. The Empire's pursuit of honor does not mean we are compelled to fight other people's battles. Full strength. Ha! The might of the Klingon Empire can stand against the entire galaxy. Let them come. Do not dictate strategy to me. The Klingon Empire values strength. We stepped in to defend the Deferi once because we owe them a debt of honor. We owe you nothing.
Okay, so we failed
Now,
that one.
Did you have something you wanted to add to this discussion?
Let's try Ambassador Skyle. Cardassia would be weakened if your government does not step in to participate in this accord.
Cardassia Prime is still rebuilding from the Dominion War. We have achieved a great deal in the past decades, but there is still much more to do. The continued threat of the true way makes progress difficult. It would be best if we reserve our limited resources. I will not weaken my world to defeat the Borg, only to become the victim of another power already here in the Alpha Quadrant.
Now again, if we had better diplomacy skills from the duty officer system, or if we completed that Kanar quest, we would get this option, and we would be able to instantly complete this dialogue. However, now we have to do this short puzzle.
I will protect my home until my last breath. My people do not need to be distracted by having to concern ourselves with all of you. Perhaps keeping ourselves separate is the best protection we could have.
And this would be the dialogue option that you would choose, which is why I chose that previous dialogue option.
You may think Cardassia is weak. You are wrong. We will not lose the advances we have fought and bled for, simply to become pawns of the powers of the Alpha Quadrant. Cardassians are not strangers to sacrifice, but we do not take any sacrifice lightly. And I see no need now to sacrifice for a cause that is not ours.
Now, did you have something you wanted to add to this discussion?
Let's try to convince Ambassador Shrol.
Maintaining balance with all things must be our primary concern. My world is one of those at risk, but I cannot reject balance, even to save my home and people. The universe uses conflict to restore the balance when we move too far out of equilibrium. The Borg advance, as painful as it may be, is simply another adjustment.
And this bottom option is kind of redundant because he just said that he is willing to die if balance demands it, pretty much. So we'll just go with the mission completion option because we helped him out with him being bored, basically. So the Borg do not seek balance. Instead of incorporating a person into the collective, they dominate, wiping out any trace of the person who once was. This furthers the imbalance.
It is one thing to choose to swim upstream against the current. It is quite another to drain the river because it is flowing in the wrong direction. The Borg do not respect the balance. We will offer what support we can to your fight.
Now, did you have something you wanted to add to this discussion?
And we get a bit of diplomacy XP. That's for the duty officer system. So we have to convince Captain Sean, who represents the Federation. Even though we're part of the Federation as well, we still have to convince the Federation.
Starfleet will do everything we can to protect the Federation and its allies. However, there are too many drains on our resources and a limited number of ships and officers. It may be simply unfeasible for us to sign on to be the protector of the entire Alpha Quadrant. Besides, we need to consider the Prime Directive. There are limits to what we can do.
So I thought mutual protection was one of the tenets on which the Federation was founded.
Under dire circumstances, Starfleet may be forced to pull back from protecting all life to a position where we can defend only the core worlds. I hope it doesn't come to that. If it does, however, the needs of the many must outweigh the needs of the few.
Now this first thing that he said actually happened in the TV show. Starfleet was forced into a corner pretty much, and they were forced to defend the core worlds, and they abandoned pretty much everywhere else. However, they managed to fight back, obviously, and regain a lot of ground. And since we helped Sean out with his missions, we get this option for the mission completion.
Starfleet recognizes the Borg threaten all life in the Alpha Quadrant. We've lost too much already. We cannot lose anymore. Eventually, we'll all need to put our differences aside and unite in opposition to the Borg or anyone else who sows chaos and destruction. We'll put an end to this together.
Let's take a quick recess to cool off. And that's funny, I don't remember anyone being scheduled to fly through the wormhole today.
There's something coming out of the wormhole. Captain, it's a Dominion fleet. They're charging weapons. Red alert!
Boarding the station. Get the delegates out of here.
We have to get out of here.
It is time to leave.
Evac Protocol Alpha. Andrews, get everyone to shuttles. Prep the Defiant for launch. Blast it. The Jem'Hadar have cut off access to ops. Karen, you'll need to coordinate the evacuation. We'll get the delegates to the docking ring, and then I'll try to join you in ops.
And that leaves us to escort the envoys back to their ship. This is kind of part 2 to this mission. Now there's a security officer somewhere. Now only Stas can actually help us. Now we can't help him because we aren't engineering enough to override the controls. have to be very careful, because we'll be ambushed at various times. However, for some reason, these Jem'Hadar tend to want to just charge at you and attack you with their melee weapons. I don't know why, but it does help us quite a bit. Now, are we gonna heal? Very slowly, but yes. Okay, the delegates are with us. Photon grenade, that hurt. Okay, we took care of all of them. Or at least almost all of them. Okay, we're needed back on the ship. Now we do get a little help from the station, but not much. Now I wonder where this Dominion fleet came from. Did the Founders lie to us? Because according to them, they just wanted to be left alone. But if we aren't careful, ships aren't going to last much longer. And my Callistos are falling way behind. I don't think I'm going to be able to save all of these ships. Because I don't have the speed or the firepower. I'm usually not able to save all of them. Nope, the Finda was destroyed. Maybe I can save the Fletcher if I'm lucky. If you are able to save all of the ships, there is an accolade in it for you. And same with if you're able to convince all of the delegates at the meeting to join the cause.
Captain Curland, good to know that you and the delegates are safe. Jem'Hadar have stormed the station and we're losing critical areas. The Defiant has launched and I've evacuated everyone possible, but a few of us stayed to...
Andrews? Andrews! Someone, answer me! What's going on?
Captain, my name is Loris, and I represent the Dominion. This station, and all remaining souls on it, are now under our control.
Well, I guess we have to warp to Bajor. The Dominion has taken control of Deep Space Nine. And we will regroup, recover, and retake what is ours. We've defeated them once, we can do it again. And we get 2 special weapons, well, a choice of one of the following. The Jem'Hadar Polaron Beam Pistol, I've taken it a couple times and it's a pretty good little pistol. However, the Polaron Full Auto Rifle is part of a set, so I'm going to take that. Now we need to counterattack and retake DS9.
Of course we do. However, that is not a simple matter. Starfleet is routing all available ships here, and the Federation Council is contacting the Klingon Chancellor as well. We are also sending messages to the Gamma Quadrant in an attempt to open a dialogue with the Dominion. But we are fighting a war on multiple fronts. We have to consider the Borg, the Undine, and the Romulans, as well as the Klingons. It will take time to marshal our resources and plan a counterattack. You and your ship will be part of that plan. Until we are prepared, though, we need to do whatever we can to contain the Jem'Hadar fleet at DS9 and protect Bajor. Losing DS9 is bad enough. Losing a Federation world would be unthinkable.
And we will start the next mission of Bajor.
We've evacuated everyone we could to Bajor, and we're setting up a base there to coordinate our counterattack against the Dominion. I won't lie to you, though. It's not gonna be easy. We were caught completely off guard by Karakan and his fleet, and the Bajorans are none too pleased to have house guests. We must balance the needs of the civilian populace with those of the Starfleet and Klingon forces currently on the surface. Starfleet needs all the help it can get planet-side right now. Transport down to our staging area on Bajor. You'll find me there. Captain Kurland will join us as soon as he can.
Okay, we'll beam down in the next mission. And in the next video. Thanks for watching.